Welcome back to the Sewell Center here in Moon. Final score tonight, Robert Morris 68 and Central Connecticut State 60. We were saying at the tail end of the game broadcast that the Robert Morris Division I men's program since 1976 has been playing some hard-fought basketball, particularly over the last few years. And tonight, a milestone night, the 500th victory in the history of the program in Division I basketball. Andy Toole, you're the head coach of this team when it hit 500, the head coach of this team when it hit 21 victories tonight, and the head coach of this team that picked up a 68-60 win.
Yeah, that all sounds pretty good, obviously. But I think, there's been so many people that have helped get to where this program is at this point in time. And, all the teams that played in the early 80s and the late 70s and the guys that transitioned from junior college to the four-year school that it is now, all those people should enjoy and appreciate, this victory, whether it's, Matt Furjanek or Jared Durham or Jimmy Elias. I mean, he's been a part of a lot of these wins over to get to 500, or, Mark Schmidt, Mike Rice, all those guys. So a great accomplishment for the program. I was really proud of the way that the guys continued to play tonight and came out in the second half and, really defended and were able to build a lead. And I thought it was a really hard-fought win and a total team effort.
It was an 18-point lead with 3:54 to go, but you knew Central Connecticut State wasn't going to quit.
Yeah, you think they want to get on the bus with Coach Dickerman if they did? I mean, Coach Dickerman does such a good job, and, he has some guys that we've talked about, leading up to this game that are so capable of going and getting buckets and getting baskets. And obviously Kyle Vanalis was the culprit tonight as, he made 2 or 3 threes, got fouled on numerous occasions down the stretch and kind of pulled them closer. Obviously, I would have liked to have handled the ball a little bit better than we did down the stretch. A couple turnovers that gave them life that if you can hold on to and at least run some time off, it helps your cause. But again, Velton stepped up, made some free throws. Guys made some stops when we needed to, and we were able to pull the win out.
What's up with Elijah Thompson? 15 points again tonight. He's coming in off the bench looking strong, and you outscore them 38-11 inside the paint.
Yeah, they do such a good job on the perimeter of pressuring you. If you can be strong with the ball and make good decisions and look down the floor, you can get really good opportunities. And I thought that, Ant and Velton had 9 assists in the first half. Velton finished with 6 and Ant finished with 5. And, those guys have to get into the teeth of the defense, draw the defense, and then drop it off. And they did a great job. And the bigs were ready. They were knees were bent, hands were ready, and they exploded up and finished strong. And that's what you have to do in the Division I level.
Coach, I thought the defense was just outstanding tonight. You shut this team down. They had a very, very poor shooting percentage up until maybe like 5 minutes left in the game. They started draining some shots that made it respectable. But you were really shutting down a good shooting team.
Yeah, and they, in the first game when we were up there, I know at least in the first half they shot 53% on us. So I think it goes back to that effort we've talked about, the ball pressure, the defensive energy that we have to have in order to be successful as a team. And, I thought for 98% of the game tonight, we had it.
I think recently maybe one of the things that's been missing a little bit from our attack is the knocking down threes consistently. We haven't seemed to do it. Today we hit some big threes, but still with Karan Williams maybe not getting enough threes off. The shooting's gone down a little bit lately, but the defense is still there, and I think that's what's carrying you over.
Yeah, and it has to. That's got to be our number one focus. Has got to be the way we defend. I told the guys in the locker room that I got a telegram from C-Ron. He's on a cruise. He's out to sea right now, and he'll be back on Monday because, sometimes you scratch your head a little bit because he is such a great shooter and he's so gifted scorer. But sometimes he gets lost in the shuffle, and he's got to be more available than he's been. And, guys got to continue to look for him, continue to screen him. I know the guys have faith that when he gets good looks, he's going to be open. And he's got to continue to be creative and kind of diversify what he's doing so he can get some of those good looks you talked about.
I think you're going to like down in the corner on a piece of the tape towards the end of the game, giving C-Ron credit. Remember, he got in foul trouble early, so he didn't get a lot of shots off. Didn't get a lot of playing time, but he got you 2 good defensive plays in one Central Connecticut possession down deep in that corner.
Well, that closeout he had on Patasic in the corner, I thought won the game. I think we were up 6 or 7 at the time, and, he kind of closed out the way we work on it every single day. It was absolutely textbook, hands high, kind of caused Patasic to kind of pump fake and freeze for a second. He ended up coming short on the shot, and, I turned and said to the bench, I said that closeout just sealed the victory, and I thought it was a huge play by C-Ron.
All right. Russell Johnson, again, came up big, 14 points tonight.
Yeah, Russ was great. Again, that's the energy that he's had for the last 4 or 5 games. That's the Russell that we know and love, and let's just hope he continues to play with the effort that he has, because when he does, we're a much better team, and he's so much more effective.
And we have to ask you about Velton because he looked like he got knocked loopy down at the end of the floor.
I don't know, the guy's on the floor more than he's standing up sometimes. So, you know, it's just his heart and determination. And he didn't have a great shooting night, but he had such an effect on the game, whether it was defensively or creating assists or being strong with the ball. And, you know, that's maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Velton would not have been okay with that. He would have maybe tried to shoot a little more than he did, but I thought he made great decisions. He took what the defense gave him, and our offense has improved since he's continued to make good decisions.
That's funny. You just took the words right out of my mouth. I think you're passing better. I think it started with Velton had a bad game, maybe taking 4 shots. Anthony Myers came in and kind of showed you if you dish the ball off a little bit, these other guys are capable of scoring. And now Velton's doing the same thing, and I think your offense looks much better now.
Absolutely. We're moving the ball. We're getting much more ball movement as well as player movement. I mean, the one possession we had late, maybe midway through the second half or you know, in this 7-8 minute mark, when Velton skipped the ball to Russell and he caught it in the air and he threw it to Mike and Mike got the layup, and it was, you know, it's just beautiful basketball, and it's stuff that we're capable of when we're all locked in and playing together.
All right, it's the stuff that gets your play-by-play man right out of his chair, and there's not much that does that. Thanks for the excitement.
Thanks so much.
All right, Andy Toole, the head coach of the Colonials, 68-60, the final score here tonight. Robert Morris defeats Central Connecticut State. And we want to thank you for joining us on the World Wide Web on rmucolonials.com, where you can hear all the games and, of course, see streaming video of the home games as well. And, of course, on the radio on 73 WPIT Pittsburgh. With Jim Elias, Chris Shovlin, Elias McMillan, our producer back in Pittsburgh. The final score here tonight as we close it out at the Sewell Center. Robert Morris, 68. Central Connecticut State, 60. Again, the Colonials rise to 21-8 and 12-4 in the league. Central falls to 11-15, 8-8 overall. And again, historically speaking, the Colonials pick up the 500th victory in the Division I history of the program. Again, Chris Shovlin saying so long for now. Thanks for joining us. Robert Morris, 68. Central Connecticut State, 60.